Nature has spoiled us with the luxury of the most magnificent and diverse world to live, work and play in. Appreciating and acting on that one idea from two very different backgrounds are Audi's head of marketing, Tarryn Knight, and South African freediving champion and ocean conservationist, Hanli Prinsloo.
So this is Spirit Cafe. It's just so great when places start popping up where you have so many alternatives that you can choose that are more sustainable, you know, from different milks to different kinds of coffee, where the coffee's brewed, you know, it just makes it so easy to live a more sustainable life. And so I thought this was a good place to start, get our fuel for the day, seeing as it's the only fuel we'll be using.
I'm really looking forward to spending the day with you. I think a sustainable lifestyle can be quite daunting and it seems like a difficult thing to achieve. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how you've built it into your everyday.
I'm so excited to be spending the day with you driving around in this beautiful Audi e-tron. Where is it?
It's parked just outside. I've got it on charge. Yep, 100% ready to go.
Oh my gosh, you can see that on your phone?
Yes, connected to the car. I can see when it starts charging, how long it will take, and
can we phone it and ask it to come here and pick us up?
Not yet, but that's coming.
Oh my gosh.
One day.
With the number of electric vehicle rapid charging stations ballooning, it's easier by the day to recharge anywhere from your shopping center to the gym.
So this is the car?
Yes, this is the e-tron 55 SUV.
Oh, pretty.
It has 300 kilowatts of power and 664 Newton meters of torque. Basically, it's perfectly fast, perfectly powerful, and everything you need in an SUV. Let's unplug it and be on our way.
I've never unplugged a car before. Just like that, eh?
Yes, very easy. No mess, no liquid.
That's so simple. And it closes by itself?
Yes.
Clever little car.
Committing to launch only fully electric new models from 2026 onwards, the brand has opened up design possibilities.
So for Audi, electric vehicles is about so much more than just the sustainability aspect. It is about digitalization. There's just so many exciting possibilities in the digitalization side of it. Then there's the performance, how the power is available immediately as you pull off. And that is so exciting. And then there's the design possibilities. Without an engine and a drivetrain in the traditional sense, design is just so much more exciting and there's so many possibilities. So electric vehicles really poses such an exciting future for us. But then, of course, there is the sustainability aspect, which is one of the 4 pillars for us. And that was where we found you, Hanli, and the way you live your life and how it just fits so perfectly with what an electric vehicle offers.
If you're on a low-carb diet, try driving a car to decarbonize the planet.
The world we live in is hard to navigate without a car. If I could, I would just take trains and ride my bike. The impact a fuel-driven vehicle has on the environment has always worried me. So a truly electric vehicle is like taking a huge step into the future and being able to say, this represents what I believe in.
The Audi e-tron has all of the luxury features you've come to expect from a luxury SUV. There are no compromises, so sustainability isn't about compromising anymore. Instead of where side mirrors would be, there are cameras, and the image is displayed on the inside of the door panel. It's perfectly clear, so whether there's rain or mist, you can see the visual very clearly.
You're coming into my world here, Tarryn. This is Cork Bay, and we're going to keep following the coastline all around towards Cape Point as I show you around beautiful Ocean Garden.
Hanli's organization, I Am Water, is fostering a community of conservationists in low-income areas around town, and she leads by example.
I love coming here to freedive. I feel as if I know the underwater landscape here better than the above water landscape. Our kelp forests are just spectacular to dive in. It's like diving into an old growth Amazon type forest, but it's underwater. What makes freediving so special is it's so quiet. you can hear the ocean around you, and you can actually hear yourself think, and everything can slow down when you're in that silence.
Silence is such a luxury these days. It's so rare that we can have a completely quiet moment. I mean, you get to do it here in this beautiful ocean, but I tend to do it on my drive home.
As part of Audi's launch of the e-tron vehicles into South Africa, they identified 4 pillars that are important, and one of those is sustainability. And my lifestyle, the choices I make, and the work I do links quite closely with a lot of their values around sustainability. So the partnership I have with Audi is speaking about and representing that as part of their story, launching the e-tron into South Africa.
The key shift in preserving the world we live in is to see ourselves as part of it, not apart from it.
We've come to a point where we have to rethink what luxury is. And to me, luxury is knowing that my everyday actions won't destroy the beautiful natural world around me. I think in that way, the Audi e-tron really is the standard for sustainable luxury. So Tarryn, I live here in the deep south, close to ocean and mountains. If I was to own and drive this car, and there aren't charging stations in my community, how does that work?
Well, actually 80% of the charging happens in the home. Because we've driven fuel vehicles for so long, people assume that you have to energize your vehicle, you have to fill your vehicle, I should say, outside of your home. But having an electric vehicle is like little elves that come in and fill your car up overnight. You're topping up that charge every single day. When you get home, you plug it in, and you start your new day with a fully charged vehicle. And that's the fundamental difference. There are over 400 charging stations and connections around the country, and people don't always realize that. They don't realize how readily available they are.
When she needs to recharge, Hanli heads for the sea, and through her Ocean Guardians workshop and public snorkeling events, her message is spreading far and wide.
We live on a blue planet. This planet should never have been called planet Earth. It is clearly planet Ocean. Over 70% of the planet is water. Over 70% of the human body is water. When we cry the same salinity as the ocean water. We are connected to the ocean. It is crucial to human survival on this planet. Without our ocean, we won't have oxygen to breathe. Billions of people will lose their food source. The ocean is as important for human life as every breath you take.
Progress and living sustainably is made through incremental steps. You don't have to take one big leap. Every day it's about taking a different decision and moving in that direction. And when it comes to adopting electric vehicles, which will have such a big impact, it's about just considering it, finding out more, and actually trying it out and realizing it's not only not a compromise, it's actually the discernible next step in motoring enjoyment.
Living and driving in harmony with your environment is hungry work. And when the appetite for eating out bites, one of the tastiest, healthiest eateries is run by Chef Lara Kropman.
I love coming here to Felton Sea and seeing what the wild chefs like Laura have been able to create. It's also seasonal. It's literally what the land and the ocean is giving you from summer to winter. And it's just so beautiful when you see nature displayed on a plate and actually get to taste it.
It's important to eat from the land, to eat from gardens that you've grown yourself, because it cuts the gap between where your foods come from and when you're eating it. It takes away all of the carbon emissions that it took to transport your food from the farm to the shops. It gets you in touch with how long it takes and how much energy and time goes into actually growing that food. When we eat from a farm that we've grown ourselves, we have so much more gratitude for what we're eating. That alone can make us so much more grateful for life in general.
This restaurant is famous for its seasonal wild food foraging classes and learning how luxurious a menu nature provides.
Once you learn how to sustainably forage in the ocean and on land, it's such a beautiful way to eat because it just connects you to your food and connects you to the nature around you.
What's really exceptional is just the way everything is put together with such consideration. It really is absolutely beautiful, and the diverse tastes. You would never think that everything is 100% natural and from this area.
The produce that we've used today, some of it we've grown here. So the carrots, for example, Rashana and her husband planted, and they're amazing to regenerate the soil. So we really like to plant things that are good for the soil and help to make the land fertile for the next season. And then we've used a lot of indigenous herbs into the broth as well, and into the pesto and those kind of things. And they're sustainable because they're perfect for this climate, they're perfect for this area, they bring the right pollinators. So it's really cool to use these flavors instead of more cosmopolitan flavors that aren't necessarily indigenous to here.
Realizing how many ingredients lie on your doorstep is another way of looking at convenience.
The dishes I've created today are a selection of flavors from the land and sea. We have a mermaid broth with root vegetables that some have been harvested at the gardens at Felton Sea, and then we've infused it with kelp from the ocean nearby. Then there's some beautiful wild rosemary bread. We have some wild green pesto, beetroot and wild green hummus, and then some batters that have been infused with different flavors too.
Hanli, it's really been fantastic sharing this day with you. I'm glad we finally got to do this after the Audi e-tron launch earlier this year, experiencing your everyday, from coffee this morning through our drive, from experiencing Windmill Beach to this beautiful place and this amazing meal. Thanks so much for sharing it with me.
It's such a pleasure, Tarryn. It's been amazing having you here and just showing you around my world and continuing our journey together.
Stand a chance to win a chauffeured ride in the new Audi e-tron and a lunch and yoga special for two at Spirit Cafe. To enter, simply reply to the competition post on the Insider SA's social media pages. T's and C's apply. Get more of the Insider SA online. Follow, connect, engage, and be inspired to live better with the Insider SA. Watch the show Monday evenings at 6. Repeat Saturday at 1 on S3.